Good afternoon, everyone. This is Corey Hinkle here for your Ankerstar Wealth Daily Update. We have actually a very exciting show today. We've got some really big trade deal news for between the United States and the EU yesterday. We have from some research from one of my favorite analysts out there, Warren Pies. He has a new primary fear in the market. And it's something that I've noticed too, and I want to just bring that up and show some information about that. We have the United States is now taking donations to decrease that debt that we've all become so familiar with. We're going to quickly look at the earnings calendar to see what big earnings are coming up this week. And then I have a market update for you right away. Please do remember this is a financial education presentation. You must do your own due diligence before acting on anything you hear in this presentation. More disclaimer information can be found on ankerstarwealth.com. And of course, the opinions expressed are mine alone. All right, really quick, S&P 500. I just wanted to hit this as a market update. The S&P is flat. It was up marginally most of the day, now down about 0.1%, so flat on the day. We've been watching this longer-term trend line going back to 2015. The S&P 500 is right at the upper end of that channel that has been kind of tested and retested a few times to the upside and to the downside. And we're going to get at least some information this week with all these earnings about whether or not the market is truly respecting this trend. So are we going to blow through this as if it doesn't exist, or is this going to provide some resistance for us to move higher in the very short term? We're going to probably have some information around that by this Friday, so I'm excited about that. Wanted to hop over here to the United States and European Union massive trade deal. This is from the White House. If you notice any additional verbiage or language in there that may imply some level of bias, it's because the White House released this themselves, and so they might be catering some of the language in the fact sheet to the benefit or to the to the agenda that they are trying to implement. Okay, so the trade deal was announced yesterday. Some interesting stuff. The EU, and I'm not going to hit everything, but some of the big items in here. The EU is going to be purchasing 750 billion in US energy and making new investments of 600 billion in the United States by 2028. I've read through this. We don't have all the details around that, but it is interesting. This I liked here. The colossal deal will enable U.S. farmers, ranchers, fishermen, and manufacturers to increase U.S. exports. The EU will remove significant tariffs, including the elimination of all EU tariffs on U.S. industrial goods exported to the EU, which will create opportunities. They also mention in here, and I don't see the line in front of me right now, that there's going to be a look at some of the barriers, so not tariffs, but actual product barriers, I think related to some of those United States agricultural products that get exported to Europe. And so they're going to try to eliminate some of those barriers. Now you will notice not all of these things were completely established or laid out in this deal. They do still have a few things that are up in the air, and these additional barriers that the EU has imposed on certain things coming from the United States haven't been removed yet, but they've been, they say they will work to eliminate some of these things. So this is not ultimate clarity here, but it is a relief to the market because as you'll see in a moment, this is a really big trade partner, and this is very important to have some level of agreement established that companies can plan around and work from moving forward. President Trump also establishes through this deal a 15% tariff that the European Union will pay to the United States, including on many things, except for steel, aluminum, and copper. Will still keep that 50% tariff. So that one's there. Yeah, you could see some of the goals. The EU investing in the United States, American energy being unleashed and being purchased as, being more of a primary exporter of that. Some of these tariff barriers continuing to be hopefully negotiated away. And, even some hope that so again, here, look at this digital trade. The United States and European Union intend to address unjustified digital trade barriers. The United States does export lots of software and things like that, digital trade, and they imply here that some of those things will be addressed moving forward, even though in this specific deal, it wasn't all cleaned up current as of right now. So some stuff to watch there, but a lot of certainty. And yeah, so just wanted to show this really quick. The EU, it's not all of Europe. You can see all of those orange countries there are part of this deal at being part of the EU. And then what does that trade relationship look like right now? 2024, the United States was the largest partner for EU exports of goods and the second largest for European Union imports of goods. You can see that the European Union exports about a little above 500 billion euros worth of goods to the United States, and imports a little bit less in recent years, but imports of, just under 350 billion euros worth of goods from the United States. So if you put a 15% tariff on that, on that 500 plus billion of exports, and some people do say that these tariffs will encourage a reduction of those exports to the United States. Time will tell how that plays out. But assuming, let's say, a $500 billion, 500 billion euro base, you could generate, let's call it at least $50 billion of tariff revenue to the United States. And, how does that all filter through the economy into consumer prices? Time really is going to have to be the tell there. And then as far as you saw that 500 billion in exports, well, what is that made of? Some of those big chunks are going to be pharmaceutical products, mechanical and industrial machinery, automotive and transport equipment, and then kind of lots of odds and ends with some food and beverages and metals, some other things in there. So interesting. We'll see what happens over time. All right, when I get to this, Warren Pies, a new primary fear in the market. And I'm really curious if anyone else has noticed this or agrees with Warren Pies on this. He says that there is a shift from a post-Great Financial Crisis deflationary mindset to a post-COVID debasement mindset. And his thesis here is that the primary fear driving market behavior right now is not related to losing principal. People are no longer fearing losing their principal on their investment the way that they once did. I can recall talking to people in 2011 who thought that the stock market was a total scam and that no one could make any money. You don't get that anymore. What you get now is people wanting to buy with every last dollar they have, because there isn't a fear of losing principal. The fear is, if I don't get every last dollar invested, I'm going to get my money debased or inflated away from this government debt scenario and all this. So how does Warren Pies see this new fear in data? Well, when Trump first posted about firing Powell earlier this year in April, you saw continued weakness in the US dollar, in the currency, and then you saw an actual increase in 5-year inflation expectations. If the Federal Reserve's independence is truly threatened, that could lead to less desirable decisions being made at the Fed that are conducive to a further increase of inflationary pressures over time. So these are all kind of very dynamic and complex things, but this is where it's showing up in the data. And I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think that, where do your fears lie? Are you more concerned about losing principal, or are you more concerned about your dollars being totally inflated away or debased because of some of the actions the government is taking? it's an interesting time, a very interesting time. And I just thought this is a timely note by Warren Pies over that 314 research. So I want to thank them for that. All right. Oh gosh, we're not going too far from government debt. There was a bunch of news floating around last week that now Venmo and PayPal will allow you to directly donate to the United States government to help pay down the debt if you're just feeling generous and you want to donate to the cause. So really, really interesting. Let's actually look at that government website here. And here it is, pay.gov. They have a form here and they have accepted payment methods. PayPal and Venmo are now on the list. How interesting is that? How long before we get, some crypto options and other options included here? Just very interesting stuff. I'm not planning to make any donations. All right. Share this. Okay. So earnings calendar. We don't have a ton. Typically, you're not going to get a lot of earnings on Monday. Waste Management's a big one, a pretty slow and steady type of company, though. Let's go to Tuesday. I'm sorry. Tuesday, we do get Visa after hours, which is a big one. United Health is another big one. Not as big as they were. They're going through that federal investigation. That'll be a big one, but people will have an eye on Visa. People are going to have an eye on Booking Holdings, potentially Spotify, Starbucks, to get a feel for the consumer, things like that. So some pretty interesting companies on Tuesday, not necessarily the biggest in the market, but Wednesday, we get after hours, we get Microsoft and Meta. So I'm going to have some stuff for you on those companies when we do get those results. And, we're going to be having an eye on that AI theme. And are we still seeing acceleration in the theme? Are things cooling down? What are the discussions and commentary around that? And then Thursday, Apple and Amazon, and then a MasterCard as well. So Wednesday and Thursday are going to be huge. Berkshire probably come this weekend, and we get some energy names there on Friday. So we could see if those energy companies, Exxon and Chevron, have any commentary about this trade deal with the EU and see if they make any comments there. That's all I have for you today. A really interesting day, an exciting week. And yeah, looking forward to bringing you more valuable information as things unfold. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.